At the beginning of the movie, a woman sets out from her exquisite residence early in the morning for a run. Unbeknownst to her, a man lurks inside a vehicle parked by the roadside, poised to commit a heinous act against her. As the woman goes by, the man initiates the vehicle's engine, tragically ending the life of the defenseless woman. Two people sat at the table, engaging in a conversation about a previous crime the man had dealt with. The man, is an investigator, initiated the narrative by describing an incident involving a married couple who had a heated argument one evening. It's 4 a.m., Christian's phone incessantly vibrated with incoming messages. However, he refrained from checking them as his wife, Leonora, was present, creating a sense of suspicion. Leonora, overwhelmed by frustration, reached a breaking point and demanded access to Christian's phone, suspecting him of infidelity. A heated argument ensued, as Christian adamantly refused to be caught in the act. In a fit of anger, he forcefully hurled his phone against the wall. Throughout their married life, the couple shared many joyous years together. They shared a teenager son who had faced significant health challenges during his infancy. Consequently, Leonora made the difficult decision to sacrifice her career as a musician to care for their child. However, as time went on, their son's health gradually improved. Meanwhile, Christian embarked on an entrepreneurial journey alongside his close friend Peter. Their construction company business venture experienced tremendous success. In the morning after their argument, Leonora approached her husband, expressing her sincere apologies for the heated conflict they had experienced. However, despite the reconciliation, Leonora's intuition continued to signal that something was amiss, noticing her husband's distant demeanor. Christian arrived at work. They've been working on a significant construction project. He had quick discussions with his business partner before excusing himself to meet with a woman. When Christian laid eyes on her, he couldn't help but be captivated by her presence. This woman happened to be Xenia, Christian's mistress for quite some time now, an architect he worked closely with, but their relationship extended beyond professional boundaries. Christian and Xenia had developed deep feelings for each other, and they had even broached the subject of being together. Xenia had given Christian an ultimatum, pressuring him to leave his wife and commit to her. Meanwhile, Leonora, Christian's wife, was going through a painful time, sensing her husband is cheating on her. Leonora, like any typical wife in this situation, decided to investigate and uncover the identity of the woman her husband was involved with. In a sudden moment, she stumbled upon some pictures on social media that confirmed her suspicions. She knew instantly, it was indeed that woman. In the subsequent scene, Leonora devoted extra time and effort to enhance her appearance, hoping to capture her husband's attention and affection. As Christian entered the room, they were preparing to attend an event related to his work. Leonora attempted to initiate an intimate moment with him, but all she could perceive in his demeanor was a lack of interest or enthusiasm. As she entered the party, she immediately spotted the woman she suspected of having an affair with her husband. However, she lacked the emotional energy to confront her at that moment. Her intuition strongly indicated that she had discovered the person she believed to be involved with her husband. Amidst the lively atmosphere of the party, she decided to go to her husband's office to search for Christian, secretly, hoping to catch him and the other woman in the act. Quietly and cautiously, she made her way to the office and, to her dismay, witnessed Christian and Xenia engaging in a sexual encounter. Despite witnessing this betrayal, she chose to keep the discovery to herself, refraining from saying anything about catching them in the act. Christian sought out Cassandra, who was a former friend of Leonora's, hoping that Cassandra could convince Leonora that divorce was the best option for their crumbling marriage. During their conversation, Christian and Cassandra discussed rumors about Leonora's past relationship, suggesting that Leonora had killed her ex-boyfriend when he left her for another woman. Intrigued by this information, Christian decided to track down the girl who had witnessed the crime. To his surprise, she confessed that she had indeed seen Leonora during the incident. It became evident to Christian that Leonora was not someone who would easily let go of those who tried to leave her. Christian then arranged a meeting with Xenia's mother, unaware that Leonora, broken-hearted and desperate, had followed him to the location. At her breaking point, Leonora confronted Christian forcefully and demanded that he choose between leaving the house or facing the consequences of her confession to the police regarding his fraud. She also made it clear that he had to end his relationship with Xenia. The argument between them became heated, and Christian, unable to break off his affair with Xenia, was left with no choice. In a fit of rage, Leonora expelled him from the house, threatening to take it away, involve the police, and forbid their son from speaking to him. Consumed by anger, Christian left the house with a burning desire for revenge against Leonora. Christian returned to his office. His mind was consumed by anger and a twisted desire for a relief of this miserable marriage with Leonora. As he took the company vehicle, he drove to Leonora's usual jogging route, hid the car somewhere, and he sat in the company van, patiently waiting for Leonora to pass by. The rain poured down, matching the darkness that enveloped his soul. His determination to end his misery with her grew stronger with each passing moment. Finally, the moment arrived. A woman, unaware of the danger that awaited her, jogged along her usual route. Christian's heartless act began as he swiftly ignited the van's engine and ruthlessly ran her over. He then reversed the vehicle, ensuring her demise, like a true crime of passion. After pausing briefly to confirm her death, he coldly returned the van to the company, meticulously planning his alibi by making sure the maintenance people noticed him. Christian had to maintain the illusion that he was not involved in his wife's death. To accomplish this, he concocted a plan to come home that night. Despite the turmoil raging within him, he went through the motions, yearning for the happiness he believed he would find with Xenia. His conscience gnawed at him, but he also felt a strange sense of relief. As soon as he completed his shower, he was startled to see Leonora's apparition before him, leading him to momentarily believe he was being haunted by her. However, she spoke in a composed manner. Christian now has to put an act that he had returned to their house after choosing her over Xenia. Deep down, he couldn't fathom that she was actually alive. In that instant, he realized he had made a grave mistake. Moreover, he pondered on the identity of the individual he ran over, mistaking for Leonora. The night following the incident, news quickly spread throughout the neighborhood about a woman being run over. Unaware that her husband had intended for this to happen to her, Leonora was shocked to hear about the tragic event, especially since it occurred along her usual jogging route. The police immediately began investigating the scene, diligently questioning residents in the area to identify possible witnesses. Something about Leonora and Christian, the couple involved, struck the investigators as peculiar and suspicious, although they couldn't quite put their finger on it. On one occasion, during their son Johan's graduation party, the police made an unexpected visit to their home for a quick check. Christian managed to handle the situation and lied to the officers, successfully diverting their attention. Despite the ongoing tension and suspicion, Leonora tried to remain hopeful and optimistic, hoping that her marriage could finally be restored. Going about her day, she stopped by a convenience store and car wash. However, her mood quickly soured when she discovered that the card she had loaded with sufficient funds for a few car washes was now empty. The store employee informed her that the card had been used multiple times, which immediately raised suspicions for Leonora since she had not made those transactions. In an attempt to gather more information and unravel the mysteries surrounding that Wednesday night when Christian claimed to have ended his involvement with Xenia and when the accident occurred in their neighborhood, Leonora requested a copy of the CCTV footage from the store. Christian returned home to find Leonora waiting, her face filled with anticipation as she prepared to reveal the shocking truth she had discovered. Caught off guard, Christian realized there was no way he could deny the evidence captured on the CCTV footage, evidence that showed he was the one responsible for killing the innocent woman, and that his true target had been Leonora all along. Leonora's revelation hit Christian like a tidal wave, leaving him stunned and at a loss for words. He had never expected her to uncover his sinister plan. As Leonora tried to reach out to the police, desperate to report him, Christian swiftly intercepted, snatching the phone from her grasp. With a composed demeanor, he concocted yet another alibi, suggesting they would both provide a statement about what they had witnessed. Feeling an overwhelming sense of danger and betrayal, Leonora's emotions reached a breaking point. Overwhelmed by fear and disbelief, she fled from their home in a state of hysteria, desperate to escape from the man she no longer felt safe with. Christian fully understood that his actions had brought about irreversible consequences. Shortly after Leonora's departure, a police investigator car arrived, causing Christian to initially believe that Leonora had already confessed his crimes and they were coming to arrest him. However, He soon discovered that Leonora had not yet disclosed anything to the police. Leonora arranged a meeting with Christian, leading him to believe that she wanted to negotiate. They met at an upscale restaurant, where Leonora revealed her terms and conditions. Shockingly, she demanded that Christian do to Xenia what he had originally intended to do to her, and that is to kill her. Leonora believed that Xenia posed a threat to her life, and without her in the picture, she believed they could be happy again. She even confessed to having previously killed her ex-boyfriend when she discovered his infidelity. In that moment, Christian realized that he had married a psychopath. They planned to stay at a hotel near Xenia's holiday cabin, meticulously organizing the details of their crime. Christian reluctantly agreed to Leonora's proposed plan. The idea was for him to kill his mistress, while Leonora would act as an accomplice and help establish an alibi. They aimed to make it appear as though they had been together the entire day when Xenia was killed. In the next scene, Christian was on his way to meet Xenia. Furious about his prolonged absence from their affair, Xenia initially resisted his entry into her cabin. However, Christian managed to persuade her and win her forgiveness. They ended up sharing an intimate moment, causing Christian to abandon his plan to kill her. As Xenia went to use the bathroom, Leonora suddenly appeared. Unbeknownst to him, Leonora had arrived at the cabin to carry out the crime. When Christian went to look for Xenia, he made the gruesome discovery Leonora had already killed her. Xenia lay lifeless on the floor, surrounded by her own blood. Christian's heart shattered for his mistress. The police arrived at Xenia's cabin. The place was shockingly neatly clean and no traces of anyone's DNA or fingerprints. Xenia is nowhere to be found. Not even a dead body to recover. She just vanished. The police accessed the messages from Xenia's phone, leading to Christian as the last person on her message before she went missing. The police came to their home to investigate. Christian and Leonore had to put an act and revealed that they had an affair. But since the police doesn't have a dead body to prove a crime happened, they couldn't hold Christian as a suspect. Leonore and Christian has an excellent idea on how to dispose of Xenia's dead body. She will become ashes in the midsummer ceremony bonfire and no one will notice. However, on the day of the ceremony when everyone is gathered in the lake, the police appeared doing the searching for Xenia's body near the place. Leonora and Christian find themselves in a race against time as the decomposing body of Xenia begins to emit a foul smell. They are on the verge of successfully escaping the consequences of their crime. Despite the persistent investigators who continue to pry into their affairs, Christian finally ignites the vibrant bonfire of the Midsummer Festival. This act ensures that their heinous deed will forever remain unsolved, leaving Xenia to disappear without a trace. Consequently, her family will never have a lifeless body to grieve over. Ultimately, the film concludes with the family relocating and selling their property, managing to evade the clutches of justice.
Yeah.
Hello, beautiful people. It's Movie Pops Recap here. Thank you for coming across this YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe and like button. That'll be much appreciated.